That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Brian O'Halloran.
Jason David Frank.
Humberto Ramos.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin' with Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter. Thank you so much for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't done it yet, hit subscribe. Come back every single weekday. Check out, we got artists, authors, filmmakers, entrepreneurs, creators of all kinds here on the Hangin' with Web Show. We are at the Henegar Center for the Performing Arts, thanks to our great friends at Brevard Film Talent. And right now we are hanging with James Behrends, one of the owners of Pound The Grape. We're going to wait for the laugh on YouTube because they're perverts, all of them.
Okay.
They're sick people on. They Google things and you never know what Googling has a completely different meaning to you people. Okay, James, thank you for hanging with us, man.
Well,
Thanks for coming in.
Bringing us.
Let's talk about Pound the Grape.
Okay.
All right. Why?
Why? Why Pound the Grape or why Pound the Grape? For the name, we were looking for something that would be fun. Our tagline with Pound the Grape is to pour a glass of adventure.
Pour a glass of adventure. I had that tagline in my 20s.
Yeah, well, you know, we're going to keep trying to keep going with it.
Keep going.
Yeah,
All right. What was the concept for Pound the Grape?
It's a store that we provide beer, wine, and adventure. And so we're trying to do fun things all the time from we have painting classes and wine painting classes, and then we also do which
well, that's
we like
good because any art that I do gets better on a couple glasses of wine.
It absolutely does. And they care less about it once they're done.
I'm telling you, I always tell people all the time, if you are not enjoying the show, have a few drinks and I get funnier.
And
it works for my household, so
similar to your artwork too. Yeah,
artwork is very similar thing. That's right. Yeah. My art gets better the more drinks I have, and the more drinks you have, it really gets good.
That's right.
So, all right, fantastic. So, what inspired you to want to inject that amount of adventure into?
Well, I think what we're looking at is if you come to the store and see it, it's kind of a different sort of approach. We've got kind of an inside-outside, but we're inside the mall. In the Melbourne Square Mall. So it's a little different in that regard too. So I think one of the things that's nice about the malls, it's really easy to get into the store and leave the store. Mm-hmm. And I know some other places parking can be difficult, so this is kind of nice. But when you come in the store, we've had more than a few people say they've forgotten they're in the mall. It's just like a different world.
That's fantastic, man. It really is. That's part of our recreational experience as we're trying to be entertained. And when we go to a store like Pound the Grapes, we want to escape that mundane for just a few minutes, right? And if you can provide that illusion for us, half the job is done.
And that's absolutely our goal. We're trying to have a good time doing it. We've only been open about 10 weeks now.
Okay.
And so we're working on different types of things to do. And like for instance, today I met with a lady, and we're working towards, we want to develop a storytelling event night, so which actually brings storytellers in and even do a contest and things. We've had cosplay there, which is a lot of fun, and and we're doing the filming with the Brevard Film. I've forgotten Brevard Film. Anybody help me with this?
Brevard Film Talent. Here at Brevard Film Talent.
Yes,
that's right.
So they're going to do something on the 19th with us there, and we're also looking to hopefully start an open mic night for comedians.
Oh,
and
wow.
So lots of different fun things. We have a stage, an event space that we can do all kinds of fun stuff with. So we're looking to just branch out and have fun.
That's great. It's a great opportunity for people to put away their cares for a little while.
Yes.
And come in and enjoy. We remind people on the show all the time that arts and entertainment for us is our great escape. Every day we go to work, whether you're building cars or space shuttles, or rockets. Now we don't have space shuttles, right? Whatever you're doing with your daily life, you have to have that moment of escape, that release, to let the humanity in you out. And if you can go to a place like Pound the Grape, where you can be entertained, where you can relax?
And drink wine.
Yes. There's always that. Like always that. What inspired you to want to incorporate, I mean, and I love what you've done with a new concept in relaxing in that leisure time. What inspired you to want to incorporate a multitude of arts in your design?
I think really partly it's my husband and I have traveled all over the world, and we've been to a lot of different places, and we both truly enjoy wine and different kinds of beers and things like that. And so part of it was...
Now I understand you're somewhat of an odd beer aficionado. You like different kinds of beers.
Different kinds of weird beers and things like that. And I enjoy tasting lots of different kinds of beers. But truth be told, my still favorite is Heineken, which is, whatever.
Once you have an Old Faithful, you stick to your Old Faithful. That's right.
But for what we've also experienced is, as we've learned about wines and things, is just the huge amount of knowledge that's out there. But we're trying to make it fun and enjoyable. So I kind of like to say that we have a lot of wines, none of which are anything that you'd want to save. They're all wines you'd want to drink. So,
which is what wine is for, by the way, just in case y'all were wondering on YouTube. The world has shrunk a little bit, and so as that has happened, the average person's tastes have become more eclectic and more refined in some cases. People like to experience new wines, new beers, international cuisines, right from the luxury of their own hometowns. Without the travel or whatever that you and I did when we were younger, right? So it's really neat for you to bring that experience to them. Why the mall?
That's a really good question. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate James on one thing, and that is that he may have not single-handedly, he has partners, but he may have single-handedly saved America's mall industry because our generation, that was a hangout.
Right.
And then there were these years in between where that sort of was diminished, especially here, we're in Florida, so downtown areas started to refurbish and come back to life, and the mall kind of dwindled a little bit, and now you guys are able to put the entertainment, the recreation back in the mall.
And that's what we're trying to do too, and with the mall, it does have some convenience over, like I said, some other areas. Probably our biggest struggle at this point is still people, I can't tell you, if I had $1 for every person that told me I don't ever come to the mall anymore, then I wouldn't have to pay my rent.
Start sending dollars. If you say it and you say it, start sending dollars in. Okay, so you are a wine and beverage aficionado.
Yes.
Most interesting wine?
I'd say that one of my favorite wines right now, and it changes all the time because we're always getting exposed, one of the hardest parts of our job is the reps and distributors come in and we have to taste wine. It's rough. It's
a rough life. It really is. It's and then the next day you have to remember all the wines that you tasted.
That's really the hardest part.
That's the hardest part, yeah.
I have a Spanish wine right now that I really like, a Rioja, and it's a unique wine. It's it's a great taste. It's smooth and it's a red. And I'm a big fan of red. So
I like. I have from my youth. I don't drink anymore, but when I did from my youth, I liked a good red, but I was a sweet wine fanatic. I loved the German whites.
So we're working on some different Rieslings in Gewürztraminer, and it's never mind. But
we'll write it down for you.
We'll write it later.
There you go.
But we don't have many German wines right now, but we are working on carrying some more. But one of the things that people may or may not know about is that we also are carrying local wines from local wineries.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
Most people don't even know that Florida produces wine, but as it turns out, Florida is one of the 9th largest producer of wine in the country.
Wow, I did not know that.
Of course, that depends on how you count it, but yeah.
All I know about Florida wines is that I produce about 4 gallons a year from my front yard. I, as a young person, always wanted to have a tiny vineyard.
Oh.
So we planted grapes in the yard, and every year we do jelly,
great.
juice, and wine.
Awesome.
And we've tried several different recipes for the mash to make sure that it comes out
Well,
right.
did you know that Florida is actually the first place wines were produced and bottled?
I did not know that.
In the North American continent.
Wow.
People think it's California or somewhere else, but it's Florida. It was pre-Pilgrim.
Wow, man.
And
You know what's
St.
interesting?
Augustine.
What's really interesting about that for today's audience, if you've tried to grow grapes in Florida, it's a challenge today. We've altered the plants to such a degree. In the Northeast does very well. California, as you mentioned, the mountain countries do very well. But getting a good hardy vine.
Well,
in Florida is-
most European vines or varietals are actually won't grow in Florida due to something I think is want to call it. I think it's Pierce's or Perkins. I think it's Pierce's disease, which is a disease that scorches the grape and the vine.
Yes.
And prevents it from growing. And anything south, really, the Mason-Dixon is subject to that disease.
It's very challenging
It's
now
very-
to get a good hardy vine that'll survive
Well, and that's why the
sunlight and
muscadine is actually
Yes.
about the only thing that grows down here.
and well, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I actually built a tiny arbor for our vine.
Oh.
It was so sickly looking when we bought it. It really, truly was. I think I got a really good deal because I think they thought it was going to die. And then we literally had to build. We kept building and building and building until now I have a front porch-sized arbor.
Well, people need to know about this so they can come and get your wine.
Yes, and I also, I cheated too. I went to Walmart and every garden store I could find, and I replaced my sandy soil with soil.
Oh,
about
that
3
is
foot
cheating.
deep. Yes,
Yeah.
and of course it washes away. It's not there anymore. The vine is living on Florida soil now. But that first year, we
To get it started.
we nursed it a little bit, and I kind of built what I call northern soil out of compost, everything that we could find to dump in this hole, until the vine kind of looked happy, and it looked really, really happy. And then I said, "Guess what? I'm taking it away." Now you get to learn what it's like in the sand. So it worked, and we're still getting some really good stuff. So you have you're doing a lot of events and things at the store to get things started. What's coming up next for you guys?
Well, real soon we've got the, like I said, the filming that's coming up. Our next big event is we have a Harry Potter event. So we're doing...
It's wine and Harry Potter. It's all good.
so it's a painting class, and we're also going to have the sorting hat there.
Very cool, very cool.
So that you can check our calendar to see when that's coming up.
Awesome. Who's putting that on with you guys?
We have it's a cosplay group that's coming to do it.
The Florida Con Artists,
Yeah.
headed up by Charles Watson and Tia Reish. Charles, Tia, we love you very much, and Cosplay Michael says hello, he'll be there. Yeah, so fantastic. Make sure you guys check out that calendar. We're going to put links down below so you can find James and Pound the Grape.
In the Melbourne Square Mall.
In the Melbourne Square Mall. Be sure to get by there. If you haven't been to the mall in a while, see, new things are popping up all the time. You really want to check it out. It makes you feel young again. I know when I go to the mall, I feel young again. Remember, we used to walk, we used to hang
Yeah,
out.
it makes me want to wear high-top tennis shoes, right?
Yeah, you know, we all had less gray in our facial hair, and we were, doing
Or
okay.
more hair.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier to some filmmakers and independent creators, and we were talking. We had the best soundtrack of any generation.
Oh, no question.
No question at all. They're still playing Footloose, people. Okay, we'll say goodbye. She's going to wave that stupid card at me. So we're going to thank our partners and our friends at Asylum Convention Entertainment Services, Space Coast Comics, Off the Chain Radio with author Yvonne Mason, Krypton Radio, Famous Faces and Funny, Something Unique Magazine, our great friends here at Brevard Film Talent, and our fantastic new friends here at the Henegar Center for the Performing Arts in Melbourne, Florida. We have been hanging with business owner, entrepreneur, James Behrends from Pound The Grape. Lots of arts and entertainment stuff happening right there in the Melbourne Square Mall. Stop in, have a glass of wine, check out music, art, cosplay. Maybe you'll be in a movie. You never know. Brevard Film Talent's going to be down there. If you see somebody behind the bar going like this, you're on. Okay, so James, thank you so much for hanging with us. Guys, remember, subscribe, log on, tune in, and see who we're hanging with next.
Wow.